By winning the NBA MVP award twice in a row, Nikola Jokic demonstrated his dominance and strength. In fact, he is in a league of his own and is in contention for yet another MVP. Because so few players have won it 3 times in a row, conventional wisdom holds that he will not win it again this season. However, when you consider Jokic's play this season, you can't help but wonder, why isn't he the frontrunner for MVP? Jokic has shot 66% from the field and averaged 29.1 points, 11.2 rebounds, and 9.2 assists over his last 11 games. He ranks 17th for points, 11th for rebounds, and 3rd for assists, and is leading the league in offensive rating at 124. So why shouldn't he win the MVP once more? Well, Nugget fans are hoping that Jokic will soon lead the team to an NBA title, following consecutive years of individual excellence with yet another incredible season. Throughout his time in Denver, he has always excelled with any team he's played with, and he's one of the best bigs the NBA has ever produced, and because of that, it makes him such a unique player. And since Jokic first entered the league, the Nuggets have assembled the best team around him. After a busy summer playing for his national team in Eurobasket, the superstar from Serbia seems ready to get back on his feet. As we get closer to the new year, he is regaining his recognizable speed and form. But will Jokic be able to hit monster numbers once more this year? And what does it mean for the Nuggets if he consistently has double-digit assists throughout the season? Well, Nikola Jokic recently set a new record by having the most triple-doubles in his career for a big man. Therefore, the time has come for the superstar of the Nuggets to average double-digit assists throughout a season. Wilt Chamberlain is the big man with the best season average, 8.6, and he's followed by Nikola Jokic, who averages 7.9 points per game in 21-22 and 8.3 in 2021. He won MVP honors in both of those seasons, and it's difficult to expect a big to average double-digit assists, but Jokic is by far the most ball-dominant center the NBA has ever seen, since Wilt at least. In any case, at some point in his career, it's almost certain that he will average more than 8.6 assists per season. Many NBA players have had seasons in which they averaged more than 9.9 assists per game. Every one of them was a guard. The names were the likes of Magic Johnson and John Stockton. Those ones are the two that leap out as the main players to retire with 2 full-digit career averages. Jokic has been crucial as the player who naturally runs the Nuggets offense. Despite the slow start offensively, when the Serbian is on the floor, Denver scores 125.3 points per 100 possessions. Whereas when he is on the bench, they score minus 19.1. Jokic appears poised to run plays for his teammates because he did not look for his shot early. And during the first 27 games of the season, the Nuggets have shot 50.8% from the field and 39.1% from deep, which is excellent. And through these games, Jokic has increased his assist ratio to 30.1, primarily by attempting to provide the rest of the team with simple buckets. After making slightly more than 17 field goals per game the previous year, he has been less aggressive on the offensive side, just making 14.7 attempts. The Denver Nuggets will rely heavily on Jamal Murray, and how well he performs in the final stage of the season will likely determine whether the team succeeds or fails. In any case, taking the best of the 2 team superstars will be huge for a number of reasons. Prior to Jokic's injury, Murray was one of the primary targets of his excellent passing. In the 48 games he played before suffering an ACL injury, Jokic assisted Murray on 94 of the 378 field goals he made in the 2021 season. And before that season, in 1920, he made 408 field goals, and Jokic participated with an assist in 129 of those. As a result, Jokic and Murray's 2-man game results in a lot of easy baskets and more assists for the Serbian. In conclusion, Nikola Jokic's chances of making NBA history by finishing the season with more than 9.9 assists per game could be determined by Murray's shooting percentages. The offensive capabilities of Nikola Jokic are now unquestionable, so why does it seem like he has something to prove despite having won the MVP twice in a row? Jokic is currently under the same amount of scrutiny as Giannis was at the conclusion of his bubble run in 2020. Jokic's situation may be portrayed differently by chance, but he also has flaws in his game that his critics consistently point out. With Jokic out there, the Nuggets have never had a strong playoff defense. It is evident that he has not been the answer as a primarily ground-bound center in an NBA that emphasizes perimeter play, regardless of whether that is his own fault or not. The last time a group won with a traditional center was presumably the San Antonio Spurs with Tim Duncan. Some will cite the Bucks with Brook Lopez, or the Toronto Raptors with Marcus Gasol, or the Warriors with Bogut, but these are poor examples. With Giannis, Pascal Siakam, and Draymond Green as examples respectively, all their teams found small ball options to play faster and more perimeter-based basketball. And these guys are all classic power forwards, perhaps more like Aaron Gordon than Jokic. That luxury is simply unavailable to the Nuggets. The expectation is that Jokic will eventually lead Denver to a championship success because Denver gave him the largest contract in NBA history. the Nuggets must find ways to defend effectively when they lack their signature small ball option. Jokic has some reinforcements this season, obviously. Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. have contributed so far to lessen Jokic's offensive workload during the season. In addition, the Nuggets brought in Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Bruce Brown, who help improve the perimeter defense in exchange for some offensive contributors. And there's a sense that the Nuggets are officially in championship mode after a couple of down seasons, and that level of expectation and commitment should also help improve Jokic's level of support. If Jokic isn't on the court, the Nuggets won't be able to compete with the best for a championship. As a result, he will almost always have to be there. Is Jokic going to be able to handle it when opposing offenses use their plans to force him to cover as much ground as possible? He has made progress on defense. His best defensive season was last year, but he still wore out and was worse at the end of the season than he was at the beginning, mainly because of a lot of offensive pressure. At the end of games, the majority of players still do whatever they want against Jokic. However, Jokic's individual defensive breakdowns and weaknesses are comparable to those of a typical center. The issue? The Nuggets can't allow elite playoff defenses to play average defense centers off the court. Jokic can't allow that to happen. Denver's margins increase, so it is hoped that Jokic's defense will improve. KCP and Bruce Brown will undoubtedly assist in some way. With Murray and Porter joining the offense, Jokic can hopefully reduce his offensive intensity and focus on making necessary defensive plays. In an effort to exhaust him, opposing teams have already and will continue to run every offensive move directly at him. The Nuggets must limit those margins as much as they can because this is their best chance to win on margins against them. Jokic's defensive season will undoubtedly be his best ever. It's almost a requirement to win a championship. And there should be no doubt about the Nuggets' success during the regular season so long as they are largely healthy. They are likely to win a lot of games, and Jokic is obviously the most important reason for that. Denver's issues in the playoffs don't really begin with Jokic either. Murray still has a long way to go before he's back to being the best version of himself, and Porter still has a lot to prove. Additionally, Highland may or may not be prepared for a significant increase in minutes and responsibilities on both ends of the floor. However, the Nuggets will unquestionably have home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs. If everything goes as planned on those fronts, everyone involved will be under a lot of pressure to succeed because of the high expectations. Being the best defensive player he can be is the only way for Nikola Jokic to completely dispel some of the criticism about his playoff potential that has begun to circulate. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe to our channel. Do you think Jokic has what it takes to make MVP 3 years in a row? Let us know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.